This is now my 6th video dealing with the place of the Ten Commandments in the lives of Christians. What I want to deal with here is, since Seventh-day Adventists seem to have zeroed in on the Ten Commandments and the Sabbath itself, deal with that a little bit more from the Old Testament. Seventh-day Adventists have what I call forced fit theology. In other words, if what you believe you can't find it in the Bible, then find some place that sounds like it and just force fit it in there and make it mean that. In other words, they try to make the Bible to mean something that it doesn't mean. It's kind of like a piece of a puzzle. You know, you take this piece of a puzzle and you think it fits into a certain slot, and you put it down there and it doesn't quite fit. Well, the Seventh-day Adventists apparently get a pair of scissors with their puzzles, and they can just cut around the edges until it fits, and see, voila, see, there it fits. When they've all they've done is cut it with scissors and make it fit. So it's force-fit theology that they have. One of the things they keep trying to prove to people in this force-fit theology that they have, and apparently their so-called scholars teach this, and I can understand if their scholars are teaching this, how confused they can be when their scholars don't even know themselves. They try to go back and say, well, Abraham kept the commandments of God. And one of the verses they were using this is Genesis 26:5, where it said, because Abraham obeyed me and kept my requirements and my commandments, my decrees, and my laws. All right, see, Christians, for those of you who don't try to force fit your theology and you try to take the Bible and understand what it's saying, where in that verse does it say the Ten Commandments? See, they want to take the word commandments and only refer to the Ten Commandments, not realizing in part of the law there were 613 different laws or so that Israel had. So where here does it say Ten Commandments? Do they see they have to forfeit a word there? See there he's talking about the Ten Commandments. When he's not talking about the Ten Commandments at all. Excuse me. You can go back and you can find several places in the Old Testament where Abraham did keep commandments of God. In chapter 12 of Genesis, he told Abraham to leave his homeland and go to a place that he would give him. So God gave him a command. He kept it. He went to where God wanted him to go. He was given a command for circumcision, and he obeyed God and was circumcised. He was given a command to carry his son Isaac upon Mount Moriah, sacrificing. He obeyed the commandments of God. So yes, he did obey the commandments of God. But nowhere there did he say it was the Ten Commandments, because the Ten Commandments didn't come codified until Deuteronomy chapter 5, as it clearly points out there, and in Exodus chapter 20. Now here's one thing that happened. You see, you can't find a Sabbath command in Genesis, nowhere. You have different places where it talks about the command of circumcision, as I pointed out. They were given instructions on part of the priesthood. They were given instructions on tithing. They were given instructions on marriage. But nowhere were they given any instructions on the Sabbath, because it didn't exist then. You can find all kinds of commands and things that God was giving them, but it doesn't mean there were the Ten Commandments. And now all of a sudden the Ten Commandments are codified in Exodus chapter 5 and in Exodus chapter 20, in Deuteronomy chapter 5, and inside there is added the ceremonial Sabbath law. Why was it added? As a reminder of their freedom from Egyptian bondage. That is why that ceremonial Sabbath law was placed in there, as a reminder of their freedom from Egyptian bondage. I mean, that's as biblical as it can be, and in the Bible why that Sabbath was given to them there. But nowhere does the Ten Commandments, as listed in Deuteronomy chapter 5, in Exodus chapter 20, are they ever given to anyone before Sinai. And to try to force fit it is to mislead people into believing something that is just not in the Bible. Until next time, this has been Golly saying, God bless.